Hey YouTubers, it's Charlie. So this week on Game of Thrones, Daenerys totally reminded us what a badass she is again. Arya and the Hound are totally hilarious and totally evil, and the aftermath of the Purple Wedding gets really disturbing. So if you're finding me for the first time, real quick, I'm doing a weekly giveaway just to say thank you to all you guys for being so awesome. All you have to do to participate is be a subscriber and leave a comment on this video. I'm going to announce the winner in my video tomorrow night. So since there's so much to talk about, let's just get right in it. So here are my top 5 WTF moments. So careful for spoilers if you haven't seen the episode yet. But Tywin and Oberyn come to an arrangement. So many important things we learned from this. 1. Tywin believes in Daenerys dragons and flat out denies any involvement in the death of Oberyn's sister. But he only denies knowledge that it happened, not that someone under him, say like the Mountain, did it. Or didn't do it. So when Oberyn agreed to sit on Tyrion's trial, he was basically getting that friendly chat with the Mountain and the seat on the Small Council, which is a small change from the books. Originally, Tyrion had already offered him the seat on the Small Council, or at least offered it to his brother, and Oberyn came in his brother's place. It was in exchange for Dorne's help against Stannis during the Battle of Blackwater. Just a very minor change. Tyrion kind of called it out later in the episode when he was cluing for looks, Sherlock style. Tywin is essentially trying to use Joffrey's death to kind of smooth things over with the Martells. I'm really just waiting to see what happens when Oberyn meets the Mountain though. That's really what we all want to see. How funny was it though when Tywin burst in on Oberyn in the middle of that pile of flesh? It reminded me of the time Tyrion did the same thing in episode 1. There's something about Lannisters walking in on Oberyn while he's humping people. But I guess it seems like based on Oberyn's earlier speech that every waking minute until old age should be spent humping your brains out. It was really nice of Tywin though to call out the Martells as the only force that was able to resist Aegon Targaryen's original conquest of Westeros. I actually wonder if George R.R. Martin posted his Aegon excerpt from The World of Ice and Fire last week because he knew this scene was happening this week. Let me know if you agree though. Number 4, Littlefinger helps Sansa escape. If you were cluing for looks into the mystery of Joffrey's death, I feel like Littlefinger would just have a red flashing light plastered on his face. He doesn't outright say he was responsible for everything, but he did point out the fake necklace and the fact that Ser Dantos was only doing exactly what Littlefinger told him to do. So essentially it would have had to have been all Littlefinger's plan to incriminate Tyrion. And even if the show changes a few things from the books, I don't think the whole thing is going to be that simple, but I think we're going to get some more details in the next episode. Remember this one detail from their talk though, Littlefinger is always reminding Sansa that everyone in the capital is a liar, and then promptly tells her that she's totally safe with him and they're heading home. So of course, right away, giant flashing red warning lights everywhere, just screaming, nope, definitely not happening. There was a clip of them in the boat in the next episode, so I think they will show where he's taking her. And did anyone else get the feeling that Littlefinger was really laying on the Batman voice a little thick? I mean, who would trust someone that talks like that? Number 3, Daario versus the Champion of Meereen. So just a few minor changes from the books because they cut out a few characters already, but I thought this was an amazing way to show off Daario's skills and his humor. Like they're all just listing their accomplishments and Daenerys is like, no, you're too precious to fight. So Daario's just like, I'm a nobody, let me fight him. Why not? I'm definitely liking the new actor way more than Ed Skrein, so I can't wait to see more of him whenever the story picks back up. Did anyone else get an Indiana Jones vibe, with the way he took down that champion, especially with the way he chucked the knife and then turned around to face the camera like it was no big deal? Just like in Raiders of the Lost Ark, so high fives to the writers for pulling that off and the people that actually filmed that scene because it looked amazing and it was really funny too. Number 2, the Siege of Meereen. If you didn't catch it right away, she catapulted all the old slave collars over the wall as proof of her intentions, that she was going to break their chains. They didn't show a lot of them too, but the quote-unquote masters are actually just the heads of the slaving families. We'll probably actually get to meet them in a future episode. We didn't get a chance to see the Unsullied in open combat last season, so seeing them in formation launching those barrels was really cool. I will be really interested to see if in the next couple of episodes they change anything, because I think last season Barristan Selmy called out Ser Jorah as a liar, but in this episode Daenerys was calling him one of her most trusted advisors. She was really laying it on thick too, so I'm wondering if they're trying to foreshadow something that's going to happen between them. But Ser Jorah is in a lot of scenes that occur inside the city walls that we saw in the trailer, so clearly he's going to be with her for quite a while. Their ship, or their friendship, whatever you want to call it, is definitely still strong. Definitely much stronger than Jaime and Cersei. And my number 1 WTF moment, this one was pretty clear. Jaime takes Cersei over Joffrey's dead body. I could spend an entire video about the many things that happened in Baelor Sept. First off, that was the sept where Joffrey got married last week, so that was just a little bit creepy right away. Then the burial rites with the coins on his face and the eyes drawn on, also super creepy. But did you notice how the camera lingered on his face, just like it was forcing you to look at him? So I'll talk about Tommen and Tywin during bonus moments, but we really need to focus on Jaime and Cersei. I think for the first time I can remember, she openly calls out Joffrey to Jaime as their son, and then demands he kill Tyrion. Then, as he is having his way with her, did you notice how, when they're in the middle of all the awfulness, Joffrey's face is clearly visible in the frame? It's just so disturbing. Seriously though, let me know if you did not shake your head in disgust at that scene. I just love how Game of Thrones does such an amazing job of making us all feel so uncomfortable. Quick side note though, it also kind of seemed like Cersei was the only one actually mourning Joffrey. Even Tywin called him a terrible king whenever he was talking to Tommen. So here are a couple important bonus moments that I didn't think were quite as important as my top 5, but that we need to talk about nonetheless. First off, Arya definitely looks like she's losing patience with the Hound. I wonder if she's just going to end up sticking him with Needle herself whenever she gets the chance. Then Shireen and Davos' letter to the Iron Bank is also a pretty big deal. That's actually a follow-up of what's going on in that letter. Davos is just trying to get more ships and more men for Stannis. I do think that Mark Gatiss is getting ready to make his grand entrance. He's actually one of the members of the bank. Sam and Gilly, also super adorable. I really hope those two get a happy ending, but I don't think anyone on Game of Thrones is allowed to have a happy ending. I actually wonder if that's in George R. R. Martin's contract, no happy endings. Up at the wall, of course, Jon, Sam, and Maester Aemon seem like the only really smart people, but I do think that they listened to Jon's warning about killing those mutinous Night's Watch brothers, to stop them from helping Mance. And in case you didn't remember, Burn Gorman is coming back this season. He's actually one of those mutinous people that they're probably going to end up having to kill. But either way, Ygritte and those Thens look really hungry for Crow, so there is a battle coming really soon. So back to King's Landing and Tyrion's cell. Did anyone else get a Tyrion pod Sherlock Watson vibe? Tyrion was totally pulling off his Sherlock, cluing for looks as to, who could have killed Joffrey and who he could call on to support him, which is essentially seems like no one. And then they just had that really sad goodbye. I mean, they really are kind of like a ship all to themselves. This is farewell pod. So sideways jump to Tommen and Tywin. Very important things going on there. Tommen is the new king, but let's save their talk for the comments because that speech that Tywin actually gave him is right out of book 3. The speech about the virtues and the different kings, pretty much word for word right out of book 3. But now it's your turn. Let me know, what was your favorite WTF moment? I know it's so hard to pick just one. Was it Jaime and Cersei, or was it any one of Dany's marine scenes? Just so amazing. Overall, I gave the episode another solid A. I'm kind of actually worried that I'm going to end up giving all the episodes this season an A- or better, so I'm definitely going to try and be a little bit more critical in the future. But it's really hard to when everything is just going crazy in the best possible way. I did feel like the Sam and Gilly scenes were the weakest. It feels like they're just trying to set them up for their own side story that's going to develop across this season. If you got a creepy vibe from that stable he took Gilly to, you were not alone. There's no way she's going to be safer there. I did love Sam's reaction to other work. Nope, no other work. As for the cinematography, I feel like I already speechified a lot of my favorite moments, Dario, Indiana Jones. Littlefinger's ship did kind of remind me of something from a pirate movie with all that fog and silence. All in all, just totally amazing as usual, as expected. I'll only be rewatching it, maybe 2 more times tonight. So let me know what your final verdict is on the episode, and leave all your questions for my Q&A tomorrow in the comments below. I think next week my bonus video is going to be for the Blood Raven since Bran's story's coming back. Be sure to subscribe to get that, and feel free to leave me suggestions for future bonus videos. In the meantime, click here to get that Q&A. I'll add the annotation as soon as I post the video. And click here for last week's Purple Wedding video, just to relive the awfulness. Ding dong, the witch is dead. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys tomorrow. High fives.